God told me to leave my job.
Is there anything next? Is there a next that you could think of right now? I'm here live from the American Black Film Festival here in Miami, where Women in Media decided to do a pop-up experience. Yes, I planned a VIP reception in a week because Women in Media told me that she wanted to do something, and God said, go. He kept telling me to go. And so I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to provide space for women and for our industry. Holly, this is a big, big mission. This organization is literally probably the scariest thing that I do, that I have been building for the past 12 years. It makes it much better to have people who support us. Organizations like Found and Well, like the MIA Legacy Group, like my best friend Kendra James, Keep Time and Place. We also have the SEO Queen and Excitement Radio and DJ Ben Hop. This episode would not be possible without our friends and our supporters. Most of our supporters are from my hometown, Philadelphia, and they continue to send their love and their support to me literally wherever I go. And I'm like, they don't think I'm crazy. They actually want to do this for us. And our next guest on the show is actually somebody that I've known since I was in middle school. And I'm so happy that she's here. Her name is Shalet Monique, and she is one of the lead stars and actress on Tyler Perry's #1 Netflix movie right now called Straw. And so to see her journey from us carrying our backpacks at school to then going to high school together, she has been one of the most consistent and loyal and loving women that I know. And I'm happy to be along this journey with one of my day ones. And I think one of the reasons that God wanted me to do this is because this young lady is killing it. And this is one of her big moments right now. And for her to be in my city, I had to create a moment to welcome her. So welcome on to the show. Yes. So how's ABFF? Where are you coming from? What have you been up to?
First of all, Danielle, you gave me my flowers, so I'm going to give you your flight.
Oh, sis, say
Flight you up in Willingboro by way of Philadelphia, PA, right? And I remember going to school in Willingboro, but living in Philly, and you know how that goes. At some point, they catches up with you. And I remember going to school and not knowing anybody because I didn't grow up in that community. And I heard Danielle's voice in 8th grade in homeroom that she's Jeter and I'm Jefferson. And I was like, oh my God. I went home and I told my sister, I said, I think this girl is from Philly. And my sister was like, ain't nobody from Philly here in Willingboro. And I said, I really think she's from Philly. And then it was like love at first sight because there was somebody that I could relate to. And it was someone that came from the same space and environment as me. And she had always been loyal and she has always pursued her goals. She could dance, y'all. I used to admire her dancing and all the talents and her family feeding into her gifts. So you were an inspiration to me, Danielle.
Thank you so much.
And I'm only calling you Danielle because that's a keep boy about Jeter.
No, I don't Jeter.
Okay.
Y'all started.
Okay, Jeter.
Yeah, y'all started that.
Okay, good.
Seventh grade.
I don't even know how to call you Danielle for real.
Nah, nobody do.
Okay, Jeter.
Yeah.
Say less.
You're going to tell us a little bit about your experience, what you've been up to. When I called you, you were doing an interview in Philly for Straw, and now you're here at ABFF. Let us know how, what you've been up to the last couple of days.
What I love about my city is that they always look out for each other, and they look out for our gifts and our talents. So when I booked Straw, I was invited by NBC to come and talk about Straw and my role in Straw as a former educator in South Jersey, a transition into film and television. So one day you'll contact me and say, you know what, I'm going to be ABFF. I don't care how tired I am. I'm going to make it here. So I'm thankful and grateful to be here. ABFF has been a journey. I remember going 3 years ago and having a film in a film festival, The Pig Fight, and Clarissa Shields, and I led the film. And we walked out. I was like, oh, this is what it means to have a film festival, but really no one knows you. It's like, okay, we have all these people filming, and we're not really sure who you are, but we saw you. Okay, good. But to walk into ABFF 3 years later, I just thank God that
perfect with Tyler Perry,
that he honors our prayers and he hears our tears and he understands our journeys and he allows us to come back with a name. And I just thank him.
Wow, yes. I love your Getty images and everywhere.
Our first Getty images is on TP Studios.
You got like 5 out right now. She's hot. She's hot.
I'm grateful. Okay, I'm so grateful.
So tell us, introduce us in your own words. Like, when you tell people who you are, what do you say?
Okay, I'm Shalet Monique, and I am a child of God, and I'm a mother. And I am a journey. And I'm healed. And I'm blessed and I'm grateful. And I love to spread it to everyone else and remind them of who they are. That's who I am.
So take us back to the beginning of your journey. When did you know that this was going to be a part of your calling? Being an actress and a stunt woman. You was in Wakanda as a stunt woman.
Forever.
When we saw you being a stunt woman, I'm like, yeah, that's on point.
You like fight back in the day.
Oh.
Lord, thank God for growth. Hallelujah.
Oh my God, Lord.
I'm from Philly.
Lord.
But so as a child, I was always that child. I was a little special. And I say this to reach out to all the people in the world that always grew up with something unique and different about them, but they didn't really know what it was. And the world might call it one thing, whether it be ADHD, whether it be autism, whether it be this and that and that. But God says my anointed, right? And it takes until we get clarity in life to show us who we really are. My steps seem took a little longer. So growing up, I didn't really understand who I was. I knew I was somebody, but I was so confused by the world. I had no idea what I wanted to do or who I wanted to be because I was living up to everybody's stereotypes. I was living up to what everybody's expectations were of me. And I just wanted to be a good kid that followed what everybody thought I could be. And I never paid attention to what Shalet was and what my purpose was here on earth, right? So I grew up not knowing what I wanted to be. My sister knew exactly what she wanted to do. And my mom was like, girl, I don't know what you're doing with yourself. You just don't have it together. So I wanted to be a news broadcaster and I wanted to be an engineer and I wanted to be all types of things and never really permanently placed myself in a position of this is what I'm going to be when I grow up. So when I graduated high school, I started off working for Sloan & Shields and a customer service agent because I really love people. And that was like, boring. And I said, next. And I said, you know what? I love banking because I like money a lot. And that's when TD Bank hired me to be in a customer service. I said, this is the same thing I did at Sloan & Shields. Boring. And I was like, okay, my mom might have been right. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I know I have something in me. I have no clue what it is. And I just thought, my mom's a nurse. I'm going to go to nursing school. Child, how you going to nursing school and got a D in biology? Can't see blood. I brought it up to a C for all my students. Bring them grades up. So I didn't know. I said, you know what? But I love people. Here we go. I love people. So I went to school for nursing. And in my second year, when I graduated with my LPN, I was like, I know I want to pursue something like a mom, but this isn't me. And I felt like I was listening to her once. I was only doing it because she would have been proud of me, right? So I said, yeah, no, I don't know about this. But my supervisor was like, I've never met anyone like you. You really come into everywhere space and you just make it bright and you educate people and you can tell that you love people. You're here like drawing people's blood and the kids are like wanting to come back and see you again. And they're like, who wants to come back to the hospital or facility? And she was like, you should be a teacher. And I was like, I never thought of that ever, but I'm here for it. So I went back to my hometown and went into my school that I went to school, Martin Luther King Elementary School. And I started being a student teacher. So while I was being a student teacher, I went to college to be a teacher, a special education teacher, because like I said, there was always something special in me. So I was able to relate to the students in my classroom very, very well. Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the things I put you through. It was the craziest 4 years, but I learned so much about myself through those students. They taught me as I was teaching them. And I remember graduating and feeling all purposeful. And my principal was like, you got a job immediately. And I'm like, Jesus, I Hallelujah. I had a job right out of college at my school, my community. I said, I'm going to stay here forever. Like, I'm going to pour into my community. I'm going to be the best teacher that you could ever have. Like, all the kids are going to remember me. That was my stardom, being an educator in my community. I really felt like my students really made me feel like somebody. Like, I felt like a celebrity when I walked into the classroom. And we get to the end of the year, and I'm like, next year, boom, I'm ready. Guess what? I got a letter in the mail that said, RIF. I said, what's the roof for? I was like, what is the roof? And I went to my principal, like, what does this mean? He was like, reduction in force. I said, the troops? We got troops coming to Willingboro? What's the force coming to Willingboro for? He said, oh, no, that means that we're forced to let you guys off. All brand new teachers, all teachers that are tenured, that are retirement ages, we're going to retire you guys early. And all the brand new teachers, we're going to let you guys go. And I'm like, but I'm the favorite teacher. Like, I'm the celebrity here. Like, I'm her. And I could not believe it.
I'm her.
I'm her. Okay? Wham. Okay? I am her. And I couldn't understand. I couldn't wrap my head around it. So I was like, you know what, God? I have the ability to keep going. So I said, I'm going to go to school for my master's degree and become a principal, because they're not firing principals. Like, so I'm going through my journey to become a principal. And I remember getting a call from Georgia. My sons were in Georgia, and it was a family emergency. And I was like, God, I don't have money to deal with this emergency right now. I don't have a job. I'm in college trying to figure out what my next move would be. And I remember just crying and like, God, every time I try to elevate myself, something in life keeps pulling me back down and pulling me from where I'm supposed to go. And I didn't know what to do. So I spent my last dime, but $100 was left on my son's debit card. And I remember my sister calling me saying, are you going to go to graduation? I said, I can't go to graduation because I had to deal with emergency. It took every bit of dollar I had. And I ain't talking about the $100, but I didn't want her asking for nothing. But I was like, I don't have nothing. I just was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just done. I done tried everything I could try, right? So she said, Jamal Bryant is coming to our church. You should come. So I'm like, I can't go to graduation anyway. I might as well go. So y'all know them people.
I remember this.
You remember this?
I remember you going to church. I remember this whole situation.
Yeah, it was so crazy. I went down to play about my kids. I would give everything up for them. Like, everything. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go since I can't go to my graduation. And it happened to be the week of my graduation, randomly on a Wednesday. So I get into church, and I'm one of them church people, Lord, forgive me. I've grown a lot. Give me something. So I was that person, a dollar is going in this bucket, and you're lucky you're getting that. Okay? You're lucky. So I had this money on this card, and Jamal Bryant says somebody in here has been going through something over and over and over again and don't know where to go. And they've been carrying burdens, and I got chills. They've been carrying burdens, family burdens, life's burdens, and they've been trying to live for everybody else, and they never live for themselves. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to do something that no one in your family has attempted to do, and it's going to happen with supernatural success. And it hit me so hard, like he was talking directly to me. And then he kept preaching on that word, and he was talking about the story of the donkey and how he carried all these burdens, and he got to where he was going, and it happened supernatural. And I don't know, I just broke down and cried, and I looked at it, and he was like, give God what you have. And I'm like, see, I thought it was good. I thought this message was for me. I thought the message was for me.
So that seed.
Clearly, now you it's for me. So wait, he kept going, and he started talking about family. He started talking about putting people first. He's always put yourself last. And I'm like, yo, all right, call me out there. So I took a little debit card out my thing, and now you know it was God, because I won't put $1 in there, let alone put my debit card on an envelope. So I'm up here losing my mind.
So you wrote the letters in?
Girl, I put my number on the envelope.
On the envelope.
And a day of my life.
That's throwback.
Ruby. Okay, I ain't lying to nothing.
Come on, stop Dave. See, he said he needed that supernatural. He didn't do.
I still just they give me up on my debit card number. Don't y'all go put your debit card number on her by envelope.
So what happened from that point?
From that point, I sold it, and I just remember bawling my eyes out like, God, I don't know what is going to happen next, but here we go. And I put my number on there, and I remember I'm on Instagram and somebody, I don't even know who this, my life is such a testimony. I can't even remember who it was, why it was, who it was, but somebody wrote me and said, hey, they're looking for somebody that acts like Cardi B in Newark. Me and Cardi got the same birthday. So I was like, what y'all need? Because I need an outlet. And they was like, oh, we need you to do this role. I was like, a role? Drake? No, they said role. So I was like, I don't know what a role is. They're like, you would have to act like Cardi, like it's a role character that's kind of have personality like Cardi B. I was like, I don't know what a role is. I never did acting a day in my life. I go tell my dad, I said, Dad, I'm about to go to Newark to do a film. He said, I couldn't even get you to do a play or sing in front or do nothing in front of like anybody. What do you talk about? I get down there. It's Nemi Hendrix. He was a film director, music videos for Fabulous and all these big, upcoming artists in New York at the time. And I'm like, so you want me to be in a movie? Oh, okay. So what we doing?
Where the money at?
What's happening? He's like, I need you to do this and I need you to walk down the street and you're going to get punched. I said, I got to fight. Miss Greenan, I get paid to fight. Don't write me up.
Remember Miss Greenan? Shalet has always been this silly. Always.
I got kicked out of class every day with Lamar.
Perfect for the film industry.
So I was like, I get paid to like fight. And I was like, well, how do you fight without fighting? Like, how do you not hit anybody? And they taught me. And because I'm an educator, I just was learning. So we get the film done. I'm like, oh my God, that was so fun. You go home. I didn't even think about the pay. It was such an experience. I didn't even care. I didn't walk around like I did something new.
So that Cardi B role, you said Cardi B? Well, nigga,
character type was Cardi B.
So that character type was your first opportunity in Jersey. Okay. So you also have been on a lot of other major productions. Wakanda Forever. Yeah. We Own This City. Yeah. And now Straw. Yeah. So how did you get to Atlanta? Did you do Wakanda in Atlanta?
I did Wakanda Atlanta. So to wrap that story up, the film went to a film festival. I had no idea what the film festival was. And they called me and said, we won. And Lorenz Tate presented the awards. And then everybody started asking me to be in their film because they couldn't believe that this actress that came out of nowhere also did a fight scene. And I didn't know a clue how major that was. And, but that was that $100 seed. So then next thing I know, it's COVID and I'm all over the place. I have no idea. I'm just getting into the industry. I'm like, I just got started. How do we stop? And I wrote my own film called Journey's Revenge. That was an attorney that was so beat up by the system that it was her basically last straw. And she decided to kill the person who got away with murdering a Black girl.
So that interview, we actually interview her on a WIM Speaks Show about that movie as well. So y'all can go back and stroll back and watch her first episode here.
And I was so scared to put it out, but God was like, put it out. I'm like, God, I don't want to put it out. You ain't got me doing something. So then I put it out. For real. I put it out and I deleted all my social media. And this casting director for We Own This City looked everywhere for me. And I'm another person that knows everybody. I don't know how this happened, but I literally know everybody. So he was like, oh, you have a mutual friend with Shalet? I've been trying to get in touch with her. I want to put her on We Own This City. I didn't audition or nothing. They literally put me on We Own This City, which is the creator of The Wire, the #1 TV series for a long time.
Let's clap for that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, God, I see what you're going, Byron. So I was like, okay, this is good. And it's just a leap of faith. When God whispers something in your ear, go and do it. So I did it, and that's what happened. And then Wakanda Forever. God told me to leave my job. I'm in Atlanta, minding my business, taking care of my kids. And teaching during COVID was ghetto. 10 out of 10, probably not recommended. Wow. 0 stars, don't do it, not attempt.
It was the worst.
It was so ghetto. And I remember just hating going to work. And I'm like, I love being a teacher, but I hate going to work right now. And a guy kept saying, well, wait, I don't know why you went back to teaching. I told you, you're done with that. And I said, but I ain't got the money to be playing like this. So something crazy happened at the school. And I was like, I just emailed them out of nowhere and said, this is my last day. It was January, February 11th. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I left. I promise you not, a day later, it's on my story. A casting call for Wakanda Forever comes out as a background role, extra. And it says it was a specialty role. You had to be in the military. But during COVID, I was stunt training. And I was like, I ain't never been in the military, but I've been stunt training. And the lady wrote me back and said, but we were looking for specialty people, but you matched the girl that got hurt last in fall. And we need you to come and replace her because you actually look like her. So I went from being a background to being cast in Wakanda Forever from an email on the day after I left the job. Shit.
Ain't that good?
What? That's my bigger nigga.
Yeah.
I love him.
Wow. That is amazing.
That's great.
I love that.
So every role that I have never auditioned for, except for Straw.
So speaking of Straw, let's go ahead and get into Straw. So congratulations again.
Guys, thank you.
You guys are doing phenomenal. I was able to watch some of it.
Okay, you got to watch the rest of it.
I do. I watched the first hour.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm going to take a break and a rest.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'm going to come back. I'm going to definitely finish it for sure. But I felt like, I had to make sure that I got that in for today's interview.
No, I wanted to thank you guys, though, because it's you guys who made it number one globally. It's your support as you guys going through the hard part and to watch it, because a lot of you guys have experienced that. So thanks everyone who has made Straw number one. Seriously, you guys have really endured a lot, and you still stayed and listened to someone else's story when you had your own story going there on.
So tell us about your experience working with Tyler Perry Studios and Netflix.
First of all, Tyler Perry is a girl boss, and I highly recommend women to say, if you can't treat me like Tyler Perry, I don't need this job. When I tell you he's like every woman's boyfriend on set in a respectful way. See how like boyfriends like cater to your needs? What do you need? How can I help you? I see this is going on. Do you need a second? How can I be assistant? Do I need to send my assistant to help you? He literally cares about people. That he makes you feel so individualized and catered to. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Literally, I've never had someone that I worked for cater to my needs and ensure that I was okay and surround us with so many people that also did the same.
And so you were on set with Taraji T. Henson and Tiana Taylor and some other amazing creatives and artists. So what was that experience like, being a part of a film with stars we grew up watching?
I was locked in a bank for 4 days with Taraji and Sherry Shepherd. It was great. It was a masterclass. Like, how personal can you get? I was hostage. Look it.
Wow. I'm living through you. I'm like envisioning it.
Experience. Like,
her performance, Taraji.
What?
Wow.
When I tell you, you can tell that woman has been through it. And she's graceful. And she's so humble. And you can literally feel the words coming out of her mouth. And she stayed in character. She didn't drop character. And it was worth every ounce of training that I had to sit in there and see what it looks like to fully do the work. Some people say, oh, I've been training for this long and I've been reading for this long. I've been practicing for this long. And it's like, they can see it, but you can see her. You can see the work that she has put in, and you can see her blood, sweat, and tears that she has given into the art. And she get it for y'all. And you could tell on set, seriously.
So what was your training specifically? Your character was
Rayah.
Rayah.
So my training, I've been in Tasha Smith's acting workshop for the past 5 years.
Oh, I just met her sister at brunch today. Yeah.
Yeah, so Tasha Smith, Will Catlett, Deidre. They have been my coach. I've been in TSL for 5 years now, since the beginning of my career. Tasha's from Camden. So
that's the Jersey.
Yeah. So me being a loyal, like Danielle says, I said I'm gonna go to a coach that knows me and knows my culture, and I'm gonna sow into her business no matter how big she is. And Tasha has blessed me in so many ways as well. So I've trained for 5 years. So you know what, I want to thank my acting coach, Larry B. Scott, because he's prepared me in these 5 years to sit in these rooms with these giants.
Dope. That's dope.
So Tyler could have picked anybody, but I feel like he put all his heavy hitters. He said, let me call Sinbad back. Let me call Sherry Shepherd. Let me call Taraji. Let me call Tiana Taylor, because she's been since Byron. let me call all these people back because I'm going to put them in the room for 4 or 5 days and they're going to execute. And I feel gratefully blessed and humble to say I thank God for him seeing me and choosing me.
I want to definitely point out that you invest in coaching, you invest in development of your craft, and you stay with the greats, right? You learn from their feet, essentially. And I think that's important. I think that's important for whatever industry you're in or whatever you're pursuing, whatever goal it is, that you stay doing development coaching, character coaching, professional development. Stay with the mentor, stay with the coach. It's how the greats get greater. Yeah. And every single athlete that you love, they have a coach for their entire career. So if you think you about to go to another level without having somebody who can correct you, pour into you, hold you accountable, and teach you new things, I'm not sure we speak in the same language. Right. It's very important.
And you know what else is important, Jeter? No. Because a lot of times we think no is going to stop us from things. And as women, no is one of the most powerful things that we can have. And I remember saying no to a lot of projects that came across my way in that space because, number one, I'm a mom, right? And I have 2 boys, and I'd be darned if my sons see me in a space, in a light, that I can't look in them in their face and speak to them after. And then I have my students that have been following my journey that has been inspired by me. There are certain things that I had to say no to, no matter how much this is my passion, no matter how much I love this, no matter tears, like I finally get a chance to get an opportunity and I got to say no, those no's hurt. Right? But what I loved about Tyler and I loved about God is that it doesn't matter to know you keep doing the work and you keep investing in you and you keep sowing in you and you keep letting your light shine and you keep letting your gifts shine. That yes is going to be a powerful yes. That yes is going to.
All you need is one yes.
You only need one yes.
You only need one.
So the fact that even though he hears you saying no, he's going to say, okay, I see she's saying no to this, and this. I got something for her.
I can trust her.
That is so powerful. So anybody in this active journey that scares those no's, know that those no's are for you. Those no's are for you. And they're such a blessing because that yes that you get is going to be number one globally. The first thing you've ever done with Tyler Perry. It would work the no's.
I think that when you're purpose driven and when you're God fearing, it matters. The representation matters, right? Because your identities is tied into Christ.
Yeah.
And only what you do for Christ will last. So if you compromise yourself and you compromise, you know, who God has made you to be, that's gonna affect you.
Yeah.
And I think that when we continue to be great and we want to go to new levels, it is going to come with a lot of sacrifices. Yeah. And sometimes we might not understand the journey or like exactly where we're going, but so many doors, like you said, have been closed, but then there's so many doors that continue to open as well. And I can relate to that in my own experience. I remember being in high school, graduating from one of our high schools, with Shalet, class in 2006. And my mom said, we were walking into the door. It was the time we were applying for colleges. And she said, Danielle, I don't know where you're going, but I feel that you're going to have to learn how to deal with the opposition. And there's been so much opposition. Being a young Black female in business. When I started my company 16 years ago, being an entrepreneur full-time was not the thing. It was not sexy. I was the only person in my graduating class from Spelman College, 2010, to have a business at 19. Everybody was going to get these careers, and I think that's great, but those doors didn't open for me. God continued to bless this business.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear so many no's, but they do build your muscle.
Yeah.
And you just find other ways. You find other avenues.
Yeah, for sure. And just believe that what is for you will always find you. What's for you will always chase you down. You don't chase anything. Let what was for you chase you because it's different. So one of my biggest things that I learned is I used to sit there and say, oh, but they did this to this person and they did that for that person and they did that for that person. The only person I can say did something for me is God. I can give no credit to nobody but God because the stuff that has happened to me, I can't even explain. The things that have happened for me, I can't even explain. Yeah. And people are like, oh, who helped you get in here? You wouldn't even believe how I got here because it's a God story. So it's unexplainable. And you want the God story over someone being able to take credit for where you're going in life. That's major. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am.
That's you.
I remember that's why my parents are so upset with me. They're like, you gotta have a career with a pension plan and blah, 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 blah. They didn't know what entrepreneurship was. And we really took leaps of faith and did it.
We definitely took a lot of leaps, a lot of fail. So I want you to talk to us now about how you're navigating this moment being in the spotlight. I know you've done a lot of travel. You have a lot of pictures and speaking and red carpets and interviews. Like, what's happening? How are you?
Thank you for asking. Really, that means a lot. If I was being completely transparent, I'm overwhelmed. I'm glued to my phone because I'm trying to distract myself from all the things that I have to do by doing the things I want to do. Because I feel like if I do things I want to do, I can shut out the things that I have to do. And I feel overwhelmed. But I do feel overwhelmed in a grateful way. I feel overwhelmed in a space that I asked God for this, and now I have to live in it. And I'm grateful for it. So I do be human, and I do say, okay, I'm overwhelmed. And I had my accountability friend that'd be like, put that phone down, girl. And I'm like, I'm just trying to distract myself. Got too many things I got going on. I don't know what to do. But how I'm navigating it is just trusting God. Just literally trusting God and letting him order and navigate my steps and being socially aware and conscious of how I'm feeling. So if I'm in a space and I just don't feel it, I'm not walking around like Shalet normally being, hey, y'all, how you doing? I'm standing back and I'm saying, let me soak this in for a second. And then when my spirit allows me to be who I really want to be and can be, then I let that happen. But I don't force myself into spaces and places where I feel overwhelmed in. I learned how to step back and just breathe. Yeah. No matter what it looks like to other people.
We're here in front of an amazing audience of a community who loves women in media. Talk to the camera, talk to the audience. What are some things you need right now? Maybe there's some people in the room who can help support you.
What do I need right now? Prayer first. Continue to pray for my journey. Continue that God continues to wrap his arms around me and my mind as I deal with the darkness in this industry, because this industry is very dark, right? Because I'm a light in this industry, I'm going to affect people. So pray that those people stay far away from me so that my light can shine in spaces and places that it's supposed to stay here. I ask you guys to just uplift my children because they're going to be highlighted in my journey. Continue to allow them to still have that life that they want to have, that their freedom of being who they are and not a reflection of me at all times, that they can be their own person. Pray for my friends that are surrounding me, that they elevate so that they can pour into me like Danielle, right? Because she's a PR. I'm going to need a PR. So continue to bless her business. My friend Christine, who is a filmmaker, she has beautiful ideas from God. Allow her vision to become from plain, make it plain, make her vision plain so that she can sew in and give you guys opportunities. Anyone who else wants to be an actor or a producer or a writer or anything, because she has multiple projects that's coming out and she's going to need support too. So my biggest thing is that I can ask for people just prayer and support. Support me through your prayers and I will appreciate that wholeheartedly.
Awesome. We can do that. Yeah.
That's Lightbird. The light.
He definitely can do that. So for the emerging artists and creatives in the room, what piece of advice do you have for them?
What I would say to you guys is don't move until God tells you to move. So that idea, that thought, that vision, sit it there, write it out, make it plain. But don't just take every yes. Don't just listen to everybody saying, oh, I got you. Oh, here's that. Wait for God to move you, because when it becomes a God thing, it can't nothing stop it. So continue to foster it. Continue to pray over it. Continue to manifest it. Continue to make connections, but always walk out and know if it is for me, it's going to find me. It's going to chase me. Don't chase it. Because you know how many ideas that I have written down that people have taken? Do you know how many times that I had thought that people were for me? And I walked into their space and I got disappointed, because God won't disappoint you, man will. So you wait and you sit on what you have, but you just don't sit there. You pray over it. You ask God to continue to navigate your steps, and you don't just take the first person that believes in you. You wait for the right person, and the right person is you, because everything that you need, you have it. So trust yourself. Don't go to man for it. Allow the God thing to happen for whatever you're creating, and it will come out in everything excellence. Because, baby, the things I done jacked up, screwed up, tucked up, messed up, okay? Because I was waiting for man. Don't wait for man. Trust what he has for you and walk in it and only allow that yes to be a God yes, and you'll feel the difference, because the industry will take you to a space where you have no choice but to see it as a God thing. Okay?
Amen. So let's get into this last segment called Wise Words Learned from Women. So tell us a piece of advice from a woman that you've gotten that you admire, and who was she? What was the advice?
I got too many of them. I have so many of them. So many beautiful women. That's why I love your podcast. So many beautiful women has sold into me. Like, Danielle, you were the first person that saw me and wanted to put me on their podcast when we were trying to figure out how do women who are fighting to be in the industry get seen. Yeah. And here I am now. You get what I'm saying? So there's too many. I can't really pinpoint a space or a place. I wish I could. Then I have my friend Christine, who, again, I'm going to give her flowers because she came into my life in such a point space where I noticed certain things as I grew up and developed, you know, as deep being a special person. I needed to unlearn things so that I can grow. Coping mechanisms that I'd done for myself that I didn't really get support with as a child, that I had to, in my adulthood, unlearn to become the woman that I am now. Then I have like Mara Kill Brock. Do you guys know who that is? Y'all ever watch Forever? Baby, that woman right there, she's phenomenal. And she taught me the power of being persistent. And she spoke today and she said at ABFF, and she said how many of her shows that were phenomenal were canceled. But guess what she did? She kept going. And she said, kept using her real life and her real experiences and her truth to keep creating. And every one of her shows have come out phenomenal, whether they were stopped or not. She kept going. So I give credit to so many beautiful Black women who look like me. Credit. Because they sold so much into us without us even really knowing. So thank you again.
It's my pleasure. That's what we do here at Women in Media on the WIM Speaks Show. So keep coming back, you know, as you all continue to grow in the industry and you have stories to tell. I'm here to tell it for you.
I'm grateful. And thank you guys for sewing into me, because you guys are the reason why we're #1 on globally. So give yourselves your flowers. Thank y'all for going through it, watching, because you could do anything else with your time, but you took time out to watch.
And so my last question, is there anything next? Is there a next that you could think of right now?
Not a Diddy party, but no, just but no, what's next is be prepared to see me in another Tyler Perry series. Yes, sir. Because I love that. And that's because I'm sticking into existence because I love him as a boss. I really do. He really enjoys me as well. So I really, really am grateful for the bond that we have created. I'm shooting 2 films. I have one that I'm going to be in LA with. Have you guys ever watched Footage Films? Chris Stokes, Marcus Houston? Yeah. I'm in the movie Adopted, if you guys have watched that. So I'm going back to shoot a film where, what's his name? Flex Washington will play my husband. Ooh. Yeah, and then I'm going to come back to Atlanta and shoot another film on the 10th. So I have 2 back-to-back films. And then wait for August. Something big is going to happen again in August. So I'm really grateful. And I'm quitting my job.
Oh, you still got the job?
I don't know if I'm going back to teaching, Danielle.
Oh, you're still teaching now?
I do. My students are like, that's my teacher, y'all.
Wow, that's a whole nother podcast. Teaching and being
but I don't know,
actress.
Because, like I said, your light irritates people when they know that you're not supposed to be there. You go adversity.
Don't not irritate them.
So I want to be of service to my students. And in order to do that, I can't be in spaces where I'm not welcome, where people see me and see my light and see what I do and question why I'm there. Because I'm going to show you better, I could tell you. But if I'm not allowed to do that, then I can't be there because I do no service to the kids. I don't work for y'all. I work for God. So keep me in prayer for that if you want to do something.
Awesome. So let everybody know how they can follow you, how they
on Cash App and
Money
Sata. That's a new one. But you guys can follow me on social media at Shalet Monique, Facebook Shalet Monique. I will follow you guys back because I value you and respect you, and I thank you guys for sewing into me.
Awesome. And make sure you guys are following Women in Media on Instagram at WIM Global, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, WIM Global, WIM Global org, and the WIM Speaks Show everywhere that you listen to your podcast. This has been another episode of the WIM Speaks Show, and we have spoken. Till next time.
Let me flow, let me grow. Let me grow, let me flow. Yeah.
Can, I will, I must. In God I trust. I can, I will, I must. Because in God